Hello student. In the system analysis and design, today start unit 4. Unit 4 is system implementation, system testing. In the whole fourth unit, you see the how the testing is taken for the software and the various types of the techniques are used for the testing. And firstly see the what is the testing. The testing, it is vital to the success of the system. When the testing is completed throughout the software, then the success of the system is completed. System testing makes a logical assumption if all parts of the systems are correct. When the whole system testing is completed, then logically assume that the all parts of the system are correct and the goals will be the successfully achieved, for the which requirement the software is made and their requirement and the goals are will be the successfully achieved. The time the between the cause and the appearance of the problem, many times in the testing the various types of the problems are arises, the system is not, the testing is not properly done, the effect the system errors on the files and records within the system. Small system error can conceivably much larger the problem. Effectively testing yearly in the process translate directly into the long terms of the cost saving from a reduced number of the error. Effective testing is most important for the software process translate directly into the long term, meaning the errors when are occurring in your system, the cost is increases, the time is very consuming, the employment cost is also increases. Thus the effective testing is important for the software. The effective testing early in the process translate directly into the long term of the cost saving from a reduced number of the errors. The testing is the process or the activity that checks the functionality and the correctness of the software according to the specified user requirement in order to improve the quality and the reliability of the system. When you taking the system testing, the user requirement fulfills properly and they work properly and they successfully achieve their goals is important in the testing process. It is an expensive and the time consuming, it is a very time consuming process, it is a very expensive process. The critical approach in the system development which require the proper planning of overall the testing process. Successful test is one that find the error, is execute the program with the finding the errors, making the program fail. It is the process of evaluating the system within an intention of creating the strong system, mainly focuses on the weak areas of the system and the software where the system is not properly work, the errors are occur, they are properly checked and rectified. The system testing is begin at the module level and proceeds towards the integration of the entire the system. Different testings are used for the different times. While the testing the system, it is conducted by the developer for the small project and the independent testing groups for the large project. For the small project, the developer it tests the system, and in the large process the independent testing group is tests their large project. The successful test is one that finds the error, it executes the program, and the finding the error make the program fail. It is the process of evaluating the system to creating the strong system is mainly focuses on the weak areas of the system and their software. Then the question is arise, why do the test the first level of the system is see whether they produce the correct output. When you give to the input to the system and the produces the correct output, no other test can be more to the crucial. First is in the why do we test, first is online response. Online system must have the response time that will not be caused to the user. One-way test that it is the input the transaction on and mini CRT screen as could normally to be used in hours and time the response to each online function to establish a true performance level. Then second is volume. In the test creates as many record as could normally be produced to verify that the hardware and software will function correctly. Their hardware and software functioning properly and the correctly is important. The user is usually asked to provide the test data for the volume testing. In the volume testing, every time checks in the test creates as many record as could normally to be produced to verify that the hardware and software will function correctly. The user is usually asked to provide to test data for the volume testing. Next, third is testing. Stress testing. The purpose of the stress testing is to prove that the candidate system does not malfunctioning, does not any unwanted data, unwanted virus unload. Unlike volume testing where the time is not a factor, system is to the high volume of data over a short time of period. This stimulates the online environment where the high volume of the activities is occurs. Next is fourth is recovery and the security. Forced system failure is a test backup recovery procedure for the file integrity. Inaccurate data are entered to see how the system responds in terms of error detection and the protection related to the file integrity. Is a test to demonstrate that data and program are secure from the unauthorized access. The data is secure from the unauthorized access is important in the system. Any unauthorized data or access the whole data is creates the problem in the system. Inaccurate data are entered to see how this response is respond in terms of error detection and the protection. It is also check up for the recovery and the security purpose. Related to the file integrity is a test to demonstrate that data and the program are secure from the unauthorized access. Next, fifth is usability, documentation and procedure. The usability test verified the user-friendly nature of the system. This related to normal operating and error handling procedure. One aspect of user-friendliness is accurate and the complete documentation. Usability test verified the user-friendly nature of the system. The system is user-friendly, easily work with the system. This relates to the normal operating of the system. Error handling procedure, no error occurs in the when you working with the system. One aspect of user friendliness is accurate and the complete documentation is completely work. Not any errors are occur in your system. Easily work with the system. Usability test user friendly nature of the system, easily work with the system. Any work of the system is easily work and is no error handling occur when you work with this system. This the fifth usability documentation and the procedure. Why system is testing? For online response, volume, stress testing, recovery security and usability documentation and the procedure. Then Then why do we test for? Why do we test for? The software testing enables making objective is assessment regarding the degree of the conformance of the system to status, their requirement and the specification. User requirement and specification is fulfilled is very important for the software testing. Testing verifies that the system meets the different requirements including their functional, performance, reliability, security and usability. This verification is done to ensure that we building a system right and properly and fulfills their user requirement. The testing validates that the system we develop is what the user need, what the user requirement, and in sense the validation is performed to ensure that we are building the right system and the proper system. Apart from helping them make decision, the information from software testing helps with the risk management. Any types of the risks are occur when you work with this system, this risk is managed properly. Software testing contributes to improve the quality of the products. The quality products is provided when you working with the system, no any errors are occur, properly work, smoothly working, and user friendly is proper user friendly work. This is test in the software testing. You can notice that we have not mentioned anything about the defect and bugs when you up until now when you working with this system. While finding defects and bugs is one of the purpose of the software testing, finding the defects and errors in the software testing. For this reason, the software testing is taken. It is not to the sole purpose. It is the important for the software testing to verify and validate that the product meets the stated requirement and the specifications of the user. Quality improvement helps the organization to reduce the post-release cost of the support and the services while generating the customer good. Will that the could translate into the greater revenue opportunity. Quality is also improvement. Quality is maintained in your software. Also the situation where products need to ensure compliances with the regulatory requirement. Software testing can safeguard the organization from legal liabilities by verifying the compliances. For this reason, the test is required for the software. The various types of the trends in the software testing. Trends in system testing. Testing should be involved through the introduce the control elements in a unique way in a system. Data processing is properly work. He roles the properly work and judge the all the controls and all the procedure is properly work. All the requirements is fulfilled. The user department also involved in this process for the testing program. The test data violate the control procedure and they test the data proper and the proper procedure and the proper function, security and everything is properly work. For this system testing is taken. Next is audit trail is also important. Audit trail is one important function of the control is to provide the audit trail. Some of the problem encountered by the auditor as once the source document are transferred into the machine readable form, They are filleted in the areas that make it difficult to access. File stores on tapes and disk required to computer to read it. Processing activities are difficult to observe since they are inside the system. To solve this detailed file of the transaction can be kept and they can be used as an input for the audit program. The audit program then select the transaction for selected accounts for the auditor to the view. Three important steps are considered while evaluating the project. First is define the control objectives as separate design and the test the requirement. Re-examine budget cost and review the specification and the requirement. Once the source documents are transferred into the machine readable form, they are filleted in the makes it difficult to access this data. Files are stored on the tapes and the disks are required to computer to read it. Processing activity are difficult to observe since they are include the system. To solve this detailed file of the transaction can be kept and they can be used as the input for the audit program for the auditing the data. Audit program then select the transaction for selected accounts for the auditor to the view. For this purpose, Audit Trail is used for the storing the physical data properly. Next is important is how. Now see the why testing is necessary, how the testing is taken, why testing is necessary, how the testing is done, and then how the testing plan is taken. When you decided the testing of the software, but how the planning of the testing is taken. The first see the test plan. The first step of the system testing is to prepare a plan that will be test all aspects of the system in a way that promotes its credibility among the potential user, fulfill the user requirement and their specification. Programming usually do a better job in until unit testing because they are expected to document and report on the method and exist their testing. Users are involved, users is also involved, users requirement and fulfill and their functionality, how to work it, the users is also know, which means the communication is improved between the users and the designer group. The communications are improved between the users and the designer group. Programmers are also involved when they become aware of the user problems and the expectation. The user also becomes more aware of the complexity of the programming and the testing. There are various types of the activities taken for the system testing. Firstly, prepare the test plan, specify condition of the user acceptance testing, prepare the test data for the program testing, prepare the test data for transaction path testing, prepare the plan user training, user is also provided the training, compile and assemble the program, prepare job performance and prepare operational document. These types of the activities necessary for the system testing. Activity of the system testing, first is test strategy. Test strategy. It is a statement that provides the information about the various levels of the methods, tools and the technique used for the testing the system. It should satisfy all the needs of the organization. Organization needs are fulfilled is the very important. Satisfy all the needs of the organization. Then second is test plan. Test plan, it provides the plan testing the system and verify the system under testing the fulfill all the design and the functional specification. The test plan provides the various types of the information, approach approach and tools used for the testing, responsibility and time required for the each testing activity. Responsibility is also assigned, who is done the which module testing, another module testing, which how many times are required for the each testing activity, availability of the tools, facility, testing procedures and the standard tools. Therefore the planning and the condition, the which types of the condition is taken for the testing, factor responsible for the successful completion of the testing process. These types of the test plan is also decide. Then various types of the test case design is used. Test case design. Test cases are used to uncover many errors as possible in the system. Number of the test cases are identified by the each module of the system to be tested. Each test case will specify the how the implementation of a particular requirement or the design decision is to be tested and the criteria for the success of the test. The test cases along with the test plan are the documented as a part of the system specification document in a separate document called the test specification or the test description. Then test procedure. Test procedure, it consists of the steps that should be followed to execute each of the test cases. It consists of the test procedure. It consists of the steps that should be followed to execute each of the test cases. This procedure are specified in a separate document called the test procedure specification. This document also specifies any special requirement and the format for reporting the result of the testing. Then test result document. Test result document. Test result documentation. The test result file contain the brief information of the total number of the test cases, how many test cases are executed, and the number of the error and the nature of the error, which types of the error, syntax error, logical error, which types of the error, where the errors are occur in your system, how the test is taken. These results are then accessed again the criteria in the test specification to overall outcome of the test, how the test outcome is taken. This test result documentation is also taken. This way the testing is taken. Firstly see the what is testing, then why need the testing, then the test plan, in the test plan the test strategy, test planning, test case design, test procedure and the test result documentation. Today close your session. Thank you.